I lied. I lied about what I did, and I lied about the nature of my relationship with Travis. A few months before trial, and by that I mean jury selection, my hair was past my waist, and I donated it to Locks of Love, the nonprofit which creates wigs for cancer patients who've lost their hair. In fact, that was my third donation to that organization since I was arrested. If I'm allowed to live in prison, I will continue to donate to that organization for the rest of my life. I've received many requests from women to teach them Spanish or American Sign Language. Because my case was pending, I just didn't have the time. In prison, I will.
And that was Jodi Arias pleading for her life during the penalty phase of her murder trial, which ended in a mistrial. You might remember that the jury was split. 8 jurors being in favor of death and 4, well, they were opposed. Now she'll be defending that life in court herself. Both of her defense attorneys, Kurt Nurmi and Jennifer Wilmot, will simply serve as her advisors. They have requested several times to step down from defending Jodi, but the judge has said, no way. HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks, my friend defense attorney Bob Schalk, and reporter Jen Wood, all are here to sort out the drama. So, Jen, let me start with you. Give me your reaction when you learned and heard Jodi Arias is on her own.
I was really shocked and really thinking in my head, this is the trial of all trials. I mean, not only was Jodi Arias a huge trial first time around, it's going to be doubly huge second time around.
And, I mean, the stakes are just so huge to begin with. So, Bob, I got to ask you, defense attorney extraordinaire, if you thought about this and thinking about at this stage of the game, Bob, is this a wise move? Is it not a wise move? What is she thinking?
Never a wise move, Joey. Never, never, never a wise move. And here's why. Because the most important aspect of this case for her at this point is the verdict of the jury. There is no way Jodi Arias is going to be good enough to pick a jury where she needs to get at least one person to hang that jury. Because if she picks the 12 wrong people, obviously it could spell the end for her.
Exactly. And Mike,
but during the first trial, who was the smartest person in that room, or at least who thought they were the smartest person in that room?
Jodi Arias.
Jodi Arias.
Right.
So she's got the stage again. So it's all about Jodi. It always has been, Joey.
And that's the problem, Mike. And that's the fear, because, you know, there are two sides of the equation. And Jen, you know, you can weigh in on this, and Bob, I'll come to you also.
Okay.
But listen, the bottom line is that some people say it'll help her bond with the jury, right? She'll be in front of them every single day. But Jen, in order to do that, they have to relate to you. They have to like you. They have to connect with you. And if they don't, Jen, guess what?
Right.
It's your life.
Right. And the thing with Jodi Arias that came across during the first round was that she comes across as arrogant, and she doesn't really come across as remorseful. And that definitely will have an impact on this jury.
Absolutely. And Bob, that's the point, is it not? I mean, look, you want to show remorse, you want to show you're contrite, and you want to show it's not about you. It's about Travis Alexander. Comes back to that jury.
Absolutely. And here's the problem. She's going to be able to address the jury through her testimony. But the thing that you're going to have is this. You're representing yourself. There's going to be a great deal of pressure on the judge and the prosecutor, who they don't like each other, it's abundantly clear, to protect that record so there's no further appeals. But how are you going to get in front of that jury and not constantly annoy them by objection after objection after objection after sidebar? She does not know what she's doing. She's not trained, and that's only going to annoy the jurors. And if they're annoyed by her, they're not going to listen to a word she has to say.
And Mike, therein lies the problem. And to Bob's point, does she even know when to object? I mean, I know, you know, to your issue.
And on what grounds?
Precisely right.
She doesn't know the law, or she may think she knows the law. You know, the law according to Jodi Arias. But let me tell you something. Juan Martinez is going to eat her alive.
I absolutely believe so. So just a quick round as we go around. I know it's too early for predictions. A lot will come out. But, Jen, what happens this time around? Quickly. What do you think?
I believe she's getting the death penalty.
Bob Schalk, I ask you.
Unless she brings her attorneys back in, death penalty.
Mike?
I hope death penalty.
I don't know what'll happen, but it is likely that she shall get the death penalty. Dream Team is sticking around. All right. And not only the Dream Team, but we want you to weigh in. Should Jodi Arias even be allowed to represent herself? Please go to HLNTV.com to cast your vote in our poll. And later, more testimony from the Renisha McBride trial, with prosecutors cross-examining the murder suspect who shot her right on his front porch.